Alrighty guys, welcome to the first episode of the pod. So today with us we have Alex Gardner. Hey bro, how are you?
Good, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Always, absolute pleasure. Love hanging out with you. So Alex is a professional race car driver and I've known Alex for probably like what, 5-6 years? Something
like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Way
It's
back
been
in VR days,
it's been a while. We used to, so we worked at VR Motorsports together as well, which is a sim racing venue in Brisbane, which is incredible. But before that, I was working there and Alex used to be a customer who would come in, and he was coming in since he was like 12 or 13, right?
I think 11 was when I first
you're still tiny. You're like 5'1", but you
much, but then, I like to think mentally I've progressed, but people say I haven't.
Your lap times have though. You're getting fast.
Yeah. That's probably the only thing that's progressed.
Yeah. But yeah, and that was, so you've been racing now professionally for quite a while, and you hold some records in terms of you're the youngest ever winner in a Radical, is that right?
Yeah, so I did the Radical Cup Australia in 2023. I won the national championship in that, and I realised I was the youngest worldwide to ever do that.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty cool thing to have. I didn't know that at the time. Because obviously for me it was like the first national category in a car that I'd done, so I was more focused on just performing myself. And then on the night that I won the championship, I remember I was at dinner with the team, and then one of them brought it up, and I'm like, oh, that's amazing. So that's pretty cool. That was a good stepping stone for me in my career. That's
awesome. And how old were you when you won that?
I was 16 years old.
Yeah, that's crazy. I remember what I was doing at 16. I was playing Forza Motorsport, and I do pit maneuver and I just hit people on the side.
Yeah, see, but that's the fun bit, right? I still get on Forza and do that.
That
you have to get it out of you, right?
Yeah, he's like, you got to take out all the rage on the sim, so when you get on track, you're just calm and collected.
Apart from iRacing, because we get banned.
This is true. But some of those people in iRacing are...
Please don't get me started.
I got some words to say, but we'll leave that for another day.
I will be here for an hour talking about just that alone.
So in terms of cars that you've driven, what do you think, because you've had the privilege of driving quite a few different cars, road cars, but mainly different race cars, and you just got back from driving over in Barcelona, didn't you?
Yes, I just got back a week ago from driving on the Barcelona F1 circuit in a LMP4 car. So it's called a Leger JSP4, so just one grade down from the P3s that you'll see racing in the Le Mans Cup, and then obviously two grades down from the P2s that race in the LMS. That's the first real prototype roof car that I've driven. Obviously I've driven a Radical. Didn't know what to expect when I went over there, but the LMP4 has a very unique driving style. Very different to a GT3 car. Nowhere near as secure. The car's very loose, moves around a lot. Especially when you're getting on the power, it hates it. If you're turning while you're getting on the power, the rear's going to go every single time.
And how does it go for, counter steer then? Because obviously in something like this, in the Nissan, when the rear steps out, I've got plenty of counter steer because the suspension's quite soft. So is it because it's obviously still a high aero car and you're still driving very quickly, but when the rear rotates, is there enough steering lock that you feel that you can counter steer? Or I hate rocks on semi-slicks.
Rocks on
nothing worse, man.
But it's actually not a very high aero car.
Okay.
Most of the aero comes from the floor.
Okay.
So that's why they say they're very sensitive about running over curbs and that, because if you scratch on the floor, you'll lose a lot of performance. But it's pretty good when you get loose, because I think it does it so much that it's just micro adjustments. I only had one big moment where I had to properly wind it on, and then it just slowly brought it back in. It's just kind of that thing where you need to be on top of it. If you leave it too long in a slide, you won't be able to catch it. Because you don't have the lock to do it. A lot of the race cars don't have that wheel range to be able to do those kind of things. So it's even in the GT3, when it goes, you need to be on top of it to get the thing pointing in the right direction. It's just so you don't cook the tyres as well. If you let the thing slide, you're going to have no grip for any of the other corners, and it just gets worse and worse, and it just becomes this big issue that you can't control.
And that's another car you were saying, a GT3 car. So you've driven, it's a GT3, was it the Vantage or the Vantage Evo?
So the Vantage, I haven't driven the Evo. I drove the 2019 Vantage and then the Mercedes AMG Evo. Two very different cars, to be honest. The Mercedes is a much more stable platform until you start pushing it, like with any race car. And then the Aston is just, it feels like a different kind of beast. It's very, 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 very lively, very, very fun to drive. Sound like it's a different experience. Like, you know, you're still in a GT3 car, but they feel very different to each other. Even though they're both front engine, they've got a lot of similarities, but obviously when you're driving, you're that in tune with the car, you notice every little thing, kind of a deal. But yeah, the GT3 cars are probably my favorite car I've ever driven.
I feel like I could do a really good job of scaring you. I feel like I'm the only person who can scare you, like when you sit passenger.
Yeah. Like, honestly, because when we were at Morgan Park, I was gripping on for dear life because I don't know what it is. I just don't trust you. I think I see the way you drive on the sim, and I'm like, oh, yeah.
But like, it's so interesting as well because you're like, my driving style. You and Chris both said the same thing. You're both like, my driving style is so fucking unconventional, but it still relatively quick though. Like, I'm not slow by any means.
Yeah, but like, you ask like any racing driver, they all hate being passenger.
Yeah,
like every single one of them is like, keep it under 70. I hate it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind it so much with you because like you've done heaps of track days and all that. But if one of
but
my
it's
mates
still the
starts
same.
I'm like, please slow down. I don't trust you.
Yeah, and that's actually a very good point that leads into the next thing about like, I've heard a lot of places that racing car drivers just don't like going passenger because, especially with people who think that they can drive beyond their limits and try to show off and try to do all of this crazy stuff because they're like, oh my God, I have a race car driver with me. Like, I need to impress them. Spoiler alert, you're not gonna impress them. Like, for you to be able to impress a race car driver, you need to beat their time or be on par with their time. At the end of At the end of the day, there was a truck that just beelined straight into our lane.
Lovely.
And that was awesome. And that's why you don't push over blind corners, ladies and gentlemen. Of course you drive the speed limit everywhere.
Yeah.
You never speed. Short shift.
I need to with my Renault.
Yeah, you have to. But yeah, so what do your daily driving these days, you're just driving on a normal day-to-day basis. Some people think they're racing car drivers because they'll drive something like an Aston Martin GT3 car or an AMG, that they'll drive crazy cars at home as well. And that's not really the case, is it?
I mean, I love my little car. It's certainly not Aston Martin level.
No.
It's just a 2007 RS 225 Renault Megane.
Yeah.
Awesome little car. It's getting fixed up right now though while I was overseas. It had a bit of an engine issue which is getting fixed. I should pick it up again tomorrow. But like, that is a good car. And like, for me, I've never gotten a speeding ticket, and I really don't plan on it. I don't speed on the road. Like, if anything, that's what I say to people. Like, I'll get up to the speed limit very quickly, but then I'll just sit there. Yeah. Just because I don't feel the need to do that. Like, I think some drivers do, but for me and like a couple of other people that I know, we kind of get our fix on the track, so we're quite happy to just relax on the road. Yeah. And like with the other people around you as well, you don't really know what they're gonna do. But I will say, being a driver does help with awareness on the road. Oh, 100%. Like, I've seen so many things happening before they happen, and I can stay away from it. Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, in terms of now, I know it's probably hard to pick, but do you have a favorite moment that sticks out in terms of like on track, or maybe like a quality lap that you did, or hell, it could have even been in the sim or even in go-karts or the radicals, like anything that you've done that, like, what lap or race really kind of like sticks out to you?
Yeah, I think I've got two that I'll tell you. I think the first one was in the Radical in 2023 at Queensland Raceway at Ipswich in qualifying. I remember I'd done my lap, I'd come into the pits, got out of the car, and one of the other drivers started to go faster than me. Yeah. So I stood with 3 minutes to go. I suited back up, jumped back in the car, went out, crossed the line with 5 seconds to go, and then set the lap record on the next lap and got pole by 3/10. Nice. And that lap just felt so effortless and together. Yeah. It was a very nice experience. I was all over the curve. I was on the limit, but it felt like, they say in the movies, oh, you feel like you're flying. That's kind of what that felt like. Yeah.
You reached that flow state everyone talks about.
Yeah, so that was good. And then probably the second one, as much as I could say, winning the championship and all that, it was when I did my first GT3 race start at Phillip Island. That is a memory that will always stick with me. I remember you obviously lights go out. You got the ocean view there at Phillip Island. If you haven't been there, it's an amazing track. And then we come into turn 1. I remember into turn 2, AMG spins right in front of me. I go around him. He's probably got like that close to my door.
Yeah.
It was just a very dream come true like experience starting a GT3 race so young. So I'd say those are probably my 2 like things that I remember, particularly from Australia. And then all the overseas stuff is just driving on like Sepang in the F4 car, and then driving Barcelona in the LMP4 car.
Yeah, yeah, nice. Yeah, that would be. That's really kind of the stuff that and like you drove at Phillip Island when you were 18 as well, right? 17 or 18?
17.
That's crazy, yeah, because you were the youngest ever.
I think I was the youngest driver to be on the outright grid in a GT3 car.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is, again, like it's so cool to do it all so young. But one thing that I'm learning, that if there's any young drivers that are listening as well, that if you feel like if you have to have a year's break for whatever reason, or you feel like you're running out of time, you're not. You're just not. You're so young. I'm learning that now. Like, we've got so many years underneath us. You don't need to be rushing things. Do it the right way, and do it properly. Do it the right way. Make sure you're well prepared for everything. Don't rush. Like, just let it all come to you. You're not running out of time. That's what I've been learning a lot this year.
Yeah, because and you're 19. You're turning 19.
Turning 19 next year. Yes.
Yeah, you're turning 19 next year. Yeah, and you've had about a year off just due to sponsorship stuff and just trying to acquire the finance, because that's the other thing of racing that doesn't really get seen a lot, unfortunately, and that's exactly that for all of those young racers out there. Even the guys who, like, I saw a gent just won the championship in the Carrera Cup series over in Europe. And like he won the championship, and he's still having to go out and find sponsorship to be able to get a seat for next year. Now, obviously, it makes it a hell of a lot easier once you start winning championships to get that sponsorship, because everyone wants to bet on the winning pony, right?
Yeah, that's right.
But how do you actually get paid? Like, when does it change so that you don't have to go and acquire sponsors and you can just get paid to drive outside of F1? Like, how do you get there?
It's hard, but like generally speaking, like for World Endurance Championship, for example, obviously all the hypercar drivers they're all paid. Yeah. Some of the P2 drivers are paid as well. Again, it depends on the pedigree of the driver, right? Like you got like Louis Delatraz for last for this year and last. I assume he would have been getting paid because of who he is and his background. Yeah. But like when you first jump in as like a junior, you'll always have to pay your way. GT3s is a bit different though. If you find a gentleman driver that likes you as a pro, and like they think you're fast and that they want you to come around and race with them, they'll either, sometimes you can be lucky and they'll either cover your fees or even pay you. Yeah. But realistically, it's when you get signed by like a proper big team and a big sport, or you get signed by a manufacturer. Yeah. So it doesn't come easy. That's why motorsport is so hard to get all the way to the top, just because of how much it does cost. And it's something that I really want to speak on, like when I get my platform and have my chance to speak on it. Yeah. I really want to like put like heaps of drivers are trying to do the same thing. I just want people, like want the motorsport industry to know that it's not fair on the younger drivers, because there's so many talents that I know that just haven't been able to even try. Yeah. Just don't have the money. So it's something that really needs to change. And like people say, like when I'm talking to people that do other sports, like, oh yeah, it's annoying I just had to spend like a grand on my football kit. I'm like, oh, that's nice. How long does that last? Yeah, the whole year. Gets me, oh, sick. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, try 400 grand. So, yeah, and it's hard. And to race in GT3 for a season, it's about $300,000 to $400,000. That depending on the car, the team, how many tracks as well. Like if you got like a New Zealand race, I think it'll be a bit more because of transport, all those kind of things. There's all these factors that like some people will be like, oh, where does all that money go? But when you go to the track and really look into it, it actually makes sense. Yeah. But it is still a hard thing to, get used to.
So, of course, because correct me if I'm wrong, to my knowledge, you're paying the engineers to be there to work on your car, right? Like effectively
think
you're
so.
paying their
Yeah.
salary and
Again, it's hard. Like, I don't actually know completely how that works, so I can't really speak on it.
yeah.
All I know is that there's the money that I have to pay to drive. I don't really know where it goes, how it goes,
Yeah.
whatever. All I know is that it goes to the team.
And it goes
they
very
do it,
quickly
yeah.
because
It
to
does
run a
go very
race
quickly.
car, 400 grand.
Yeah, especially like a GT3.
Yeah.
Maintenance on those things is not cheap.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. But yeah, and it's really difficult as well because when you look at different sports, as you were saying, right? Like you look at football or you look at soccer, something like that.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, the sport doesn't change. Whether you're playing in the streets of Brazil
Yeah.
or it's like dirty spots with holes in the goals and everything like that, and you've got an old ball versus playing at the Premier League.
Yeah.
The ball may feel slightly different, but the ball's still the same.
Yeah,
the
still-
goal's still the same. Obviously, you can get different size goal, but
Yes,
generally
yeah.
speaking, it's the exact
The
same.
principle's the same.
When you go through racing, driving a go-kart versus driving an LMP3 car versus driving a Radical versus driving a GT car, they are all drastically different
Yeah.
cars, and the chance that you get to jump in and actually prove yourself to get seat time to be able to drive is so slim. And I think that's also something that I just really wanted to highlight. Knowing Alex, knowing a couple of other professional race car drivers, are they quick? Absolutely. Like their lap times are very impressive. That's awesome. The thing that really surprised me though was how quickly they get to a limit of the car. Like how quickly you get into a car and it really only takes you a lap or two to figure out how to be on the edge of the car, because that's all the time you have. Because if something's wrong with the car, then you need to tell your team, hey, adjust the brake bias, I need this in the front, I need this in the rear, because you don't have much time there. Because there are some people out there who will drive the same track many weeks in a year with the exact same car that they've perfected over years, and they're like, oh, this professional guy is only half a second faster than me, like I'm almost as quick. But for the professional, more than likely it's his first time at that track.
Yeah.
Right? Like the ability to get comfortable in a car and your awareness is something that I think is very undervalued and doesn't get recognized as much for you guys.
And I think on the sim as well, it tends to be a little bit easier because you don't have so much like warming up to do. But in the real cars, like the test data that I did in Barcelona, like we had full 1 or 2 lap warm up procedures before you even start pushing the car.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So it takes longer in real life. Again, like, you know, because you'll be feeling how the car moves, whereas in the sim you're not, unless you come to VR motorsports, I guess. But like even then, yeah, it's something that every professional, especially one that doesn't have a lot of money, needs to master. Because you don't know, like you might do one test day, and that might be it, unless the team funds you. Do you know what I mean? So like it's 100%. You need to be on top of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so we'll pivot away from the racing for a little bit. Now, aside from being an absolute Star Wars nut with your Kylo Ren helmet and being absolutely obsessed with Star Wars, what else do you like to do with your spare time and things that you enjoy doing?
Yeah, well, obviously a lot of training, but outside of racing, I'd say water sports I love. Doing like a lot of tubing, kneeboarding. Still yet to try wakeboarding. I don't know why.
Really? You've never been?
I've never wakeboarded yet.
It's so much fun. I'll go with you. I've done it. I've done it a lot.
Yeah.
It's
well,
awesome.
One of my mates has a boat. We've been going out since like grade 5. At the end of every year, like end of every school year, we go to Lake Mugara.
Nice.
Together, that's like a tradition that we've got going. Been enjoying golf a lot recently. I'm not good at all. I'm absolutely terrible. It's not even funny, but it's fun when it works.
Yeah.
It doesn't work a lot, but it's getting there. And then, funnily enough, I really enjoy fishing, which is a very big contrast. Like adrenaline of racing, calmness of fishing, and all that kind of stuff. I don't know why. I just enjoy it. I've always been a big advocate for wildlife and animals and all that kind of stuff. It's actually something that I've considered doing when I stopped racing. Like just even if it's just going and helping out at a zoo or a conservation centre, just being around animals and working with them is something I really value as well. That comes from my grandfather.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my main things, to be honest. I play a lot of games as well with a couple of my mates.
Yeah. What have you been playing recently? What have been the go-to?
Me and my mate from across the road have been playing For Honor again.
Oh yeah.
I'd never played it, even though it came out in 2017. We've been playing a bit of that. We we've started playing Rocket League. I'm terrible at it, but I like it because it's got cars in it and they go fast, so I enjoy it. Forza, we've got the new Forza coming out next year. Is it? Yeah, which I'm very keen for. Is it next year or this year? Next year.
I think it'll be next year. I think the next Horizon game comes out
that's
next
year. That's going to be good.
Yeah.
And then we play Dead by Daylight, if you know what that one is, like a little horror
Yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah.
That's good.
Did you see they dropped Assetto Corsa Rally?
I haven't played that yet, but I've yet to try it.
Yeah.
That might, in my opinion, that's why Assetto Evo's been so slow, because they've been working on that behind the scenes as well.
But it's actually a different department. Like it's still from the same guys, so the Kunos Sim guys, but apparently it was done by a completely different department to the Evo guys. So there has to be some collaboration, obviously, because I feel like the team isn't that big. Like it's still a relatively small company.
Yeah, it is.
But either way, like I'm happy they're putting out more stuff, and I need to get on. I still haven't tried Evo. I need to drive Evo.
Evo, like I played it on the first day that it came out. It was really good. It was very well optimized, actually. I didn't think my computer would be able to run it, but it did really, really well. I don't think there's any other games that I'm really on at the moment. I'm trying to think if there's anything, but
and how do you find with, I guess, staying fresh because you haven't been racing that much this year? Well, at all this year. How do you approach the sim in terms of, because it's very easy to almost treat it like a game and just go on and turn laps and kind of mess around and have fun, versus treating it like an actual training tool. So how do you kind of differentiate that and make sure that you're using it to train?
Yeah, so I mean, what I do and what I tell a lot of people as well is I don't care about my lap time. I couldn't give less of a crap. I just care about the techniques. Okay. I use the sim for the techniques that I would use in real life. If I try things, practicing things, like every single sim game has got these little tricks you can do to make you go faster, but it's not conventional. It doesn't work in real life. So I always stay away from those. But like I'm doing a 24 hours of Le Mans this weekend. This weekend in between my work shifts, and for that I'm using them because I want to be fast for the team, right? But if ever you're using it for training, just focus on the real life stuff. Focus on being like, nice and smooth, gentle on the pedals, all that kind of stuff. Whereas a lot of the time in the sim, you're just like, you feel like you just want to throw the car around, but it doesn't really work in real life unless the car's set up to do that kind of thing. Yeah. So it depends on what you want to drive in real life and really what you want to get out of the sim itself. Yeah, okay. Cool, interesting. For you, obviously slowing down has been what this year has been about, because everything from golf to fishing in your hobbies to on track, you haven't really been able to get on track, and you've been forced to kind of be a bit more patient and learn and grow more as an individual, which is never a bad thing because you always take away new experiences from everything that you do, right? So moving forward into next year, what is the plan of attack? Yeah, so I mean, like that's what this year's been about, recouping the finance as well and that kind of stuff. But it's going to be a case of what I get the money for and where, kind of a deal. Like, if you get a bunch of Australian sponsors, you can't really go over to Europe and use their money there unless they've got global ambitions, because then you aren't giving them as good a promotion as they could, you know what I mean? So of course. It's like, I could end up doing a full season here in GT3s, I could end up doing a full season in something else in Europe. I really don't know what it looks like yet. I've got a couple of really good things that I could end up doing. What that is yet, I don't know. I can't really say because I just don't know yet either. It's something that, I just want to be racing again, but again, I just want to make sure I do it right. I don't just want to go do something for the sake of it. Need to make sure that since the money is so hard to come by, that we use it well and use it to the maximum effectiveness that we possibly can. Yeah, no, 100%. Well, thank you, man. That was very, very insightful to have a professional driver come on and really give us some insights on what it's actually like, because we all love racing and would love to do it, but it's interesting to hear what actually happens behind the curtain. So don't assume you can't do it either. People online saying, I assume I can't. Have you tried? No. Yeah. Well, I love that one, right? Like those who say they can and those who say they can't are both usually right. But awesome, man. Well, thank you for coming on. Thank you very much. And good luck with everything. And I'm sure we'll see you racing internationally soon. Will do. Thank you very much. Thank you.